Hi, my GNTC students. It is Pam Turner, and it is Friday, the 10th of November. We are running out of time. We have about 3 weeks left in the semester after Thanksgiving, and I just really want to kind of encourage you and leave you with some good information for Friday. So I'm going to just share with you some things that I've been working on and my mindset for the weekend. It's called How to Celebrate Small Wins to Achieve the Big Goals. I know all of you, your big goal is the end and you want to get that 2-year degree, the 4-year degree, the job, but we got to remember, right, remember to celebrate the small stuff. I always kind of talk about when your kids were learning to walk. When I did that little bitty baby step, you cheered and you jeered and you were amazing. You got to remember to do that for yourself. So let me just share with you a little bit. How to celebrate small wins to achieve big goals. We all want success in our goals. And it's the goals that give our life meaning, something to strive for and something to help us do better, see better about ourselves. Sometimes it seems like a really big mountain and you just can't get there, but you think, I just can't. If you feel like that, you're not alone. All humans are built to naturally see problems and easily punish ourselves for bad behavior. Poor performance, we think we want to give up and we'll never get to the goals. But our mindset, the way we think, can bring us down when we feel we failed, and then it results in us giving up on our goals and dreams. Sometimes one bad test, one bad exam, you never come back. But you know what the secret to achieving your goals? Successful people make huge achievements all the time. How do they do it? It's all in their mindset. See, people sometimes think that other people, it depends on their luck or their natural talent that helps them to excel, as that's what they want to achieve. Yet, in most cases, it's just down to the mindset and your way of looking at your goals. Take Thomas Edison, for example. The American businessman who invented the light bulb. It took Edison almost 10,000 attempts to create the light bulb. That's a huge amount of failures before finding success. But his response to his repeated failures was, I haven't failed, I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work. In other words, he took his failures and turned them into successes because his perspective was focused on achieving rather than failing. It's quite clear that we have a mindset of positive perspective that allows us to celebrate the small steps and see those as achievements. So if you managed to get all your assignments in on time this week as opposed to last week when you didn't, that's an achievement. Don't think about the times that you didn't and maybe the grades aren't so great. But remember, you got there this week and you're going to get there next week. So celebrate the small wins. The key to success is realizing that our big goals really aren't going to happen overnight, in the next week or maybe the next year. But that's really, really okay. It's easy for us to just say, hey, I want to give up. But the problem is we've got to keep going on. We've got to be motivating ourselves down the right path. Demotivation, that's how it happens when we make a mistake and we just say, hey, I don't want to do that anymore because it's too hard, or I'll never get there. I have a lot of my students say, well, with my past, I will just never, ever get there. And that's just not true. You all know my AAers and NAers, it's one day at a time. If you were clean today, they celebrate you. You come in and you can say, I didn't drink in 24 hours, and what happens? They pat you on the back and they celebrate you, yeehaw, yeehaw. That's achieving those small steps. You get the same yeehaw when it's been 2 years. So we've got to do that for ourselves, is give us that. The goal is appreciation. Appreciation can sometimes be played down in life, and we tend to forget what we've done and what we have. Appreciating our small wins and our small steps in life is the difference between failing and succeeding. Lack of appreciation and gratefulness can lead us down that slippery slope, and sometimes we can't even see the end. We give up and we don't acknowledge the small successes. Celebrate the small stuff is the only way we're going to get to the big stuff. We got to create some really good habits though before we can do that. Successful habits equal success. Back to appreciation, I know I've mentioned it a million times. A gratitude journal is the best thing. It helps you realize what good you have, how much you've done, and you write down 2 or 3 things every day that you're thankful for. And again, many days it can be I had gas for my car because last week I couldn't budget and this week I did. So what you're appreciating for may be something very small or something big. But remember, the small steps are how you get to the win. So the secret of a successful habit, you invest in the small things over a long period of time. And you understand that at the moment, these things may be insignificant, but they really are. For example, you say you want to learn a whole new subject. We have to read one of my assignments. Read 10 pages of book today with a new subject. Or if you have a big assignment due, like a paper due in one of my classes, start reading. This weekend you've got plenty of time. So when your paper is due at the end of the semester, you're not freaking out about all the things. And I can promise you, if you would start reading your subject this weekend as opposed to the weekend in December, it would definitely change your grade and your behavior level. So that you carry that all through life. Is those small habits that you see the big picture at the end. So the small things are, this weekend I'll study this much. This weekend I'll read this much. This weekend I'll do this. It's those small habits that help you get to the big picture. It's the same with anything else. We talk about dieting or the life choices. It's the small habits. You know what? One apple, one Big Mac today isn't going to make you gain 500 pounds, but one Big Mac every day will. So you really have to watch what you do every day, those small, significant things. So the tips on achieving success, no matter what it is, I'm going to give you a couple of things. Break down your larger goal into small goals. For those of you who are in my field class, we talk a lot about goals and objectives. The objective is the big picture. The objective is that you will learn orientation of your agency. And then there are like 5 small goals underneath that help you get that big objective. That's the way life is. So even something as the objective is learning how to potty train your child, you didn't wake up one day and just rip the diaper off. We had some steps before we got there. We bought the potty. We talked about the big boy the big boy underwear. We sat him on the toilet. There's all these steps. We didn't just put him on the toilet one day and think, oh, he's got it. So everything in life is like that. So again, I want to get my AA degree. I want to finish school. Those small steps, what you do this weekend, helps you get to that big picture. And I promise you, nobody wants to do the small steps, but that's what it takes to be successful. Reward yourself for achieving the small goals. Okay, so remember when your kids were little, maybe just my kids, at the pee-pee dance, you know, when they got it in the toilet, we had little Fruit Loops in the ring, and every time he got in there, he could shake it, you know, pee-pee in the ring, did the pee-pee dance, yay, pee-pee dance. We were so happy. We did that, maybe just in my house. But it's the same thing, those little small things, that's what you want to celebrate. It's important. It's important. This weekend, if you get your homework done before the last minute, celebrate that. Those of you who are in my substance abuse class, you know you've got some paperwork. It's due that 14th of December. Start working on it. You got plenty of time. Celebrate that. Take that small step, get one thing done, and then celebrate it. It will make such a difference. I won't get that call or the freak out on the 13th talking about what I don't have done. It's the small steps that will change the big picture of your life. Don't put pressure on yourself. That big deadline at the end, that sometimes really makes us upset. So if we avoid that time limit, if we've gotten almost everything done by then, we're good. I'm going to say if we go back to the potty training your child, some of the statistics really indicate that the biggest area of child abuse has to do with potty training. What we know is that many times children are not able to really feel the need to go to the bathroom, or their sphincter muscle, they're not able to hold it quite yet. But somewhere we have heard down the line that they should be old enough to go to the bathroom. So there's lots of pressure to get them to go to the bathroom. So we're trying to really meet these objectives with the big goal. But you know what? Maybe they're not quite ready for the big goal. So those baby steps, we get better and better and better and better and better every day. So just the same thing with you. Keep better, 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 better every day, because you'll get there. You will. The last thing is change your perspective. Stop looking at all the things you do wrong. You can make a list. We can make a list. Our minds go to the negative of what I did wrong. I woulda, shoulda, coulda. In our groups class this week, we did a project on what we could have, if we could go back and do things differently and how we would change things. And certainly many of us put down many things of what we do differently. I think most of you, and I certainly can be mistaken, but I think most of you wouldn't want to relive that path. But most of you like where you're at. You're in school. You're making really good choices right now. And you wouldn't be you had you not gone down the path you went on. And there are some people who take the straight line, and that's their path. For many of my students and for me, my path's been a little bit ziggly and zoggly, and before I got where I needed to get. But I wouldn't change that journey. I would not. I wouldn't do it again. But I wouldn't change it. Because we're here now. You're in my class. We are having are really into the semester coming up. You guys are amazing students. I am honored and privileged to be your teacher. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Please do some homework. It'll save you so much stress over the few weeks, I promise you. The countdown is on. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, guys. Bye.